that I gave you yesterday. You're going to need those. And we're going to shut this off.
Oh no!
Ready? Well, you might want to take the math notes in your notes, if you know what I mean. What? Well, I'll do stuff on the board. You can follow along with. Okay, so yeah, I would maybe just title this unit conversions, and then we're going to do a bunch of unit conversions here. And then don't let me forget to give you your worksheet. If you forget, it's your fault. I won't forget. Need another what? Oh, you were gone yesterday, huh? Alrighty. You also probably need a vocab list. Oh man, I have one, right? I gotta print you off another one. I think I gave out someone who lost theirs already. I'll be right back.
It's chicken and noodles.
Sorry, we got that covered now. You ready? What? You need what? Do you not own one?
I
Or
have one, but it apparently was stolen.
it's not, you don't know where it is?
Just like stolen, just like shit.
Okay, well, you're gonna need a calculator. These calculators are like $10 at Walmart. I would strongly suggest.
Only world.
Yeah. All right. What we're going to do here is we're going to convert from one unit to another unit, but we're not going to do it the easy way. And here's why. When we're dealing with metric prefixes, or metric units, remember we said they're base 10, okay, which means they're multiples of 10. Well, when they're multiples of 10, you can simply move the decimal, correct? That's really all you need to do. Okay? But is every unit conversion going to be a metric unit conversion? No. So, for example, if you wanted to convert inches to feet, can you just move the decimal? If you wanted to convert pints to gallons, could you just move the decimal? If you wanted to convert newtons to pounds, could you just move the decimal? No. So we're going to set up mathematical calculations where we have to cancel units correctly. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want to lay a foundation for other classes you'll take of mine and for when you get to college. Because when you get to a higher level, we do things with the periodic table, where we use these numbers, and we have to convert using these numbers. Those aren't metric numbers. Those aren't base 10 of each other. Okay? We start using numbers like the mole, which is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. That's not a nice little move the decimal thing. Okay? So, I promise it's not overly difficult as long as you follow along. Pay attention. Let's start with this. Someone give me a random number.
5.
A little bit more precise than that.
47.
47.3. Okay. Give me a prefix of your choice. Giga? Oh, you're going giga on me. All right. And we'll go gigameter. Okay, so that's a lot of meters. Okay? Let's take gigameters and convert it to meters. Okay? Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to set up something that's called a conversion factor. And that's what that looks like, a conversion factor. Now let me explain here how this works. What we do when we're using a conversion factor is we put two different units that we're converting to and from in it, and they have to equal each other. Here's what I mean. If I have 3 feet and I wanted to convert it to inches, okay? Mathematically, I would have to put feet on bottom to cancel out like you would normally in a math. You would cancel out numbers top to bottom, right? You cancel out units the exact same way. You probably didn't know that, but it's really quite neat. And if I want to convert to inches, feet would cancel, leaving me with what unit? Inches. Okay? The numbers that go in here must be the equal equivalent. Here's what I mean. 1 foot is 12 inches. Do those equal each other? If they equal each other, all we're doing is converting from one unit to the other without changing the measurement. Does that make sense? So the numbers in here must be equivalent. So if I had, let's give you another one. Now how many inches would that have been? 36, right? That makes sense. Is 36 inches the same as 3 feet? All we did was convert to a different unit. Does that make sense? Because what we put in the conversion was an equal expression. Let's say I've got 42 seconds. I want to convert to minutes. Okay? Where would I have to put the seconds to make it mathematically work to cancel out? You'd have to put it on bottom to make it mathematically cancel out. And I'm converting to what? What did I say? Minutes. So minutes would go on top. And then what is the equal expression here? What numbers would I have to put for them to be equal? How many seconds are a minute? So every 1 minute, do these equal? Okay, so I could then do the math and figure out how many hours how many minutes 42 seconds is. It's going to be less than 1, right? 42 divided by 60 will give you less than 1. Yep. Okay? That's all we're doing is converting from one unit to the other. Do you see how I could just move a decimal here to make it work? Okay? When we get to this, we actually can just move a decimal, but on a test or a quiz, I want you to set it up this way. And the reason why, I'm more worried about the process, that you understand unit conversions, like canceling out units correctly, than I am the right number, to be honest. Although, if you do the process right, what ends up giving you the right answer, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm more grading you on the process. I want you to understand, how do we cancel out units? And how do we convert that way? Because it's very, very, very important. When you get to higher level classes, okay, a lot of stuff is setting up a ratio and letting the units tell you what to do. Basically, the units are like the breadcrumbs that tell you how to do a problem. It's like follow the breadcrumbs, follow little units. Okay? I know it's different than what you're used to in math. All right, so here's how we do it. I want you to put this somewhere in your notes. A little star, and it says it's the number 1. Alright, now this is only the case when we're using metric conversions. So that's very important. If you need to write that, a little like asterisk next to it saying this only works for metric units, that's fine. But all we're going to do in this class is metric conversions at this point. Okay? And let me explain what I mean here in a sec. But first, before I do that, I should probably point out what the difference is between a prefix unit and a base unit. Here's a base unit. A gram is a base unit. A liter is a base unit. A meter is a base unit. A second is a base unit. What else? What? Yeah, I think that's enough to get the point. Notice, every base unit, how many letters is it? One. I could take a prefix and attach it to the base unit. That would be a prefix unit. Let me give you an example. Gigameter. Prefix unit. How about megaliter? How about centigram? How about microsecond? What's the difference? 2 letters. All your prefix units have double letters. All your base units have single letters. It's really that simple. Because all prefixes have the base in it, you're just adding a prefix before it. That make sense? I mean, I know that's like, well, duh. Believe it or not, if I don't state that, a lot of times kids don't know what the prefix unit is. And if you don't know what the prefix unit is, how are you going to know where to put the 1? Does that make sense? Eric, are you doing all right there? I'm playing a game on that, are you? What? Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's do this now. Here's how we do this. Let the units tell you where things go. First of all, we're starting with a gigameter. What are we converting to? Meters. So there's your prefix, there's your base. We got to figure out where those units are going to go in the conversion factor. Okay, so let's let the units tell us what we have to do. What are we canceling out? We have to cancel out the giga, right? So, mathematically, would I put the gigameter on top or the gigameter on bottom to get it to cancel out? On bottom, because I have gigameters on top here. To cancel it out, to cancel out multiplication, you cancel out by doing division. Opposite inverses. Remember in 8th grade math, when you wanted to manipulate an equation, to undo multiplication, what do you have to do? To undo addition, what do you have to do? Subtraction. It's opposite operation. So, same thing here. To undo multiplying gigameters, I have to divide gigameters. Make sense? Always look. To know what goes on bottom, look up. And back. That's the breadcrumbs right there. You will never need to worry about what's here as long as you look what's there. Every single time. Okay, what are we converting to? Meters. Right? This should make sense. Gigameters have to cancel, leaving us with a meter on top, which is what we're converting to, right? Now we got to put in numbers. I think it's easiest to put the units in first, then put the numbers in. Because if you look up there, there's a little star that says what? All right, which one is the prefix unit? The gigameters. Now notice, did I say the 1 always goes on the bottom? Did I say the 1 always goes on the top? Let me show you an example. What if I have 32 meters? Now, to cancel out meters, where would that go? And if I were going to gigameters, now where does the 1 go? Do you see how I did not put the 1 goes on top or the 1 always goes on bottom for a reason? It goes with what? The prefix unit. Okay? So based on what you're canceling out, should tell you where the units go. All right. Now, this is probably the hardest part, knowing what to put here. This is where you've got to get familiar with your table. What is the prefix that we're converting from? Giga. What is the factor for giga? 10 to the 9. So we take the factor of giga and we put it with our base here. A lot of people are like, well, why don't I put the giga with this? Well, 10 to the 9th meters equals 1 gigameter. Okay? Notice how I said I had to put in an equal expression up here, correct? Okay? Now, plug in your calculator. Anything on top, multiply, anything on bottom, divide. But if you got a 1 on bottom, do you need to divide? If you have a 1 on top, do you need to multiply by 1? Is that going to do anything? No. Ignore the ones. Just find the factor. If it's on top, multiply. If it's on bottom, what? Divide. It's that simple. You know how to calculate. What are you going to say? Hey, I don't know how to calculate. You not own one? Or do you just not?
My sister has one.
Well, oh, I talked about this yesterday, didn't we? Did you tell your parents? What did they say? Cool. What do we get?
Like one.
It should be like a really large number.
How do you do 10 to the 9?
Ah, good question. Here we go. Here's how. Here we go. Calculator 101 right here. I don't know how you can get through 8th grade math not knowing how to do
I forgot.
arithmetic stuff. So here we go. 40. Here's how I would type it in my calculator. Times, and I would put parentheses around anything that's in exponent form. 10, and I use the caret stick. 9 equals.
Oh, I just.
You could use the E function. You could. Some of your calculators might be more crazy, but. No, that is not okay.
Okay.
No, you got to start with what you were given first. You went opposite.
So, oh, so I have to do 1.
No, start with this
Okay.
times this.
Times 10.
This is how I wrote it. Okay, this is what you're trying to. Right, you do math left to right, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to start with your first number, your number that's been given, and you're going to multiply by stuff on top, divide by stuff that's on bottom. But if bottom's 1, do you need to worry about dividing? No. Okay. Sydney, what was the number you got?
4.73. And there's like.
Is it an E? It's not E, is it? There's a
No,
times.
it's like times 10, and then there's another 10.
It's a 10.
It's times 10 to
That's the right answer. What's the unit? Meters.
Wow.
You might get E on their calculator because you guys don't have a higher level calculator. It doesn't look like. You get it? What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you already did it. How are we doing? Yeah.
What do you mean by E?
If you didn't get E, don't worry about it. Some calculators will do this. 4.73 E 10. E means times 10 to. This is the same as that. Okay, it's the higher level calculators will do that sometimes. Okay? You might not need this number. I want to make sure that we know how to plug this into our calculator. It's equally as valuable as doing the process. Because great, you can do the process right, but if you don't know how to plug in your calculator, what good is it? Okay. Do another one. Let's start with a base unit this time. Give me a round number. Somebody. 35.7, okay? And let's start with a base this time. Let's start with a gram. That's not a metric.
Oh, no.
That's not a metric unit. Start with a gram. And what prefix should we convert to? So let's go in the smaller ones now, the negative ones. Centa? Okay. Centigrams. Convert to centigrams. I can change this to centigrams up here. All right. Same process, but different units. But is the same thing hold true? We got to cancel out now what unit? Grams is the unit we got to cancel out. Okay? So in order to cancel out grams, where would I put it? Here or here? Always bottom to cancel out. Remember, breadcrumbs. There it is. Look up and find what you have to put on bottom. And what are we converting to? Okay. Now quickly, where's the 1 go? Every single time. Ah, I knew some of you would say that. Bottom. Someone said bottom. I heard multiple people say bottom. What did I say? It doesn't say 1 always goes on the bottom. It doesn't say 1 always goes on the top. It says 1 always goes with the what? Where is it? The top. Okay? Now, it's a common mistake. This is why I specifically want you to star that, because it's important. Because 1 centigram equals, what's the prefix for centi? What's the factor for centi? 10 to the negative 2. So we put the 10 to factor for centi with the base. All right, now how do we plug this into our calculators here?
35.7.
Okay, am I multiplying or dividing?
No.
It's on bottom. When you're on bottom of a fraction, it's division. Divided by, parentheses, 10 to the characteristic negative 2. Solve. What? Question? Exponent's negative. Oh, do we not know where the negative is?
No, like, that's not possible.
Yeah, it is.
You can have a negative exponent. You can have negative numbers, so you can have negative exponents.
All an exponent tells you is where on the number line you are, or where on the metric scale you are. Okay, so negative 2 means I move the decimal 2 spaces left. Positive 2 means I move a decimal 2 places right. And we'll do that when we go from scientific notation to standard form. We'll do that later, this chapter. Okay, we will actually move the decimal. I do not want you to just move the decimal for these. Okay? So, what was the answer? 2,500. Do I have an amen on that?
Amen.
Looks like that's true. Okay?
Do you have the same?
Use the subtract key. That's the negative button. So do the same thing, but use the negative button. Yep. Did anybody else get an error? Okay? Because there's a difference between a subtraction and a negative number. If you put in the subtraction key, it does not know what to do. Okay? I'm going to give you one more. I want you to do it. This will be your ticket out the door.
This is fun.
Yeah. You don't know how to do it yet?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I do know.
Yeah. It's not too difficult once you figure out the process.
Yay.
Now, when you take higher level classes, it's not just one step. Like there'll be, in my advanced chemistry, we do an eight-step conversion. So like, do you see why I'm trying to lay a foundation now? Because it will get harder, but we like the easy stuff. We'll stick with the easy stuff right now, okay? Give me a random number.
44.37.
44.37. I want to do that. Okay? Give me a prefix.
Liters.
That's not a prefix. Liters is not a prefix.
Oh.
Nano.
Nano. Let's do, wow, nanoliters.
Nanoliters.
Okay? And we're solving for liters. Solve. Go. If you have questions, call me over. I will come help you. I want you to show your work on your notes so that I can see your work, see what you've done, and I want to see your calculator. Yeah? What is nano? Do you not have your prefix table? Yes? Yeah, grab your prefix table, I'll tell you. Nano. Name it. Is that a really small number
No.
or a big number?
It's a really small one.
Should be a very small number. So here's an example of what mine says E. Can I see that? Got her?
Yes.
What we got? Okay, where's your work? Yeah, I want to see it right down. You didn't get it right.
Done.
Figure out what you did wrong. If you, this is your ticket out the door. Once I can see it and you get it right, you may leave. Oh. You don't have to put it in scientific notation. Yes.
Can I just tell you?
Yes. I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, we need our work.
Yes. Okay, go grab a worksheet out there and you may leave those of you who I've seen. Thank you for putting in a scientific notation, Rose.
You know, where you do the decimal flying thingy.
There you go. So now, instead of not making a 9 over the top, you don't divide it, it's on the top. You have division, you need to switch that to multiplication. Does that make sense?
Lunch.
Okay?
Lunchtime.
2 people I haven't seen yet?
Yo, yo, yo,
Hurry,
it's lunchtime.
Done? Yes, sir. You may leave, you have a worksheet. Okay, right? Okay. So, you have the one with the prefix in it, but your unit isn't in the right spot. You have multiply a nanoliter, the nanoliter will give you a nanoliter squared. You need to cancel out the nanoliters. When you're multiplying, what is the opposite of multiplication? You need to have the nanoliters on the bottom.
As far as the spell is
Top is the other unit. So what is the unit we're going to? We convert it to. Okay? And what is the factor we put in there? You know. You're going to look at your prefix table and figure out what nano tells you. Okay? Okay? Now, calculate the order. Figuring it out there. Did you not grab it? That's the right answer. Oh. So if you don't know how to put in scientific notation, that's you just leave it as that. But I don't know if you remember, but you just leave it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4.4 times 10 to the, since I went right, it's a small number, negative 8. If you put this long number in here, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then you go second this and switch to scientific, it will give it to you in scientific. But that's next level stuff. Cool? Oh yeah. I'll pull it up here. You want to come to my computer and then you can write it off of my
is it? I got an answer.
Should be a really small number. Is that what you got?
I got 0.44. Oh, it's supposed to 0.000000000.
How many zeros?
7.
Yep.
I hear really.
Well, you would have to put it between the first two whole numbers, so it would be 4.4, and then it would be times 10 to the negative 8.
Okay.
We'll go over how to do scientific notation later.
Just wait for it.
Okay, did I give you your worksheet? Okay, if you're struggling with this, which sounds like you're struggling a little bit, come in and check with me. Work with me after school or before school.
I'll do a couple and come and check.
Okay, I'll have a key. Get it? Yeah. Okay, perfect. I don't think Moira grabbed it.
Thank you.
Yep.
What is graham crackers for?
A lab we did in advanced chemistry.